can I make a list of the people that I think are going to greatly benefit from this book, which I think is the target audience?
would be happy to know what you think.
So, number one, I want this book to get into the hands of journalists. I want it to get into media schools, whether it's in the polytechnic schools or in the media departments in the universities. I want it to also to get into just the broadcast, the whole broadcast media industry, into podcasters as well. Like, these days we talk of podcasters. Maybe just the general public sometimes, but I think those people are key. I want government, government officials in the media industries to get access to this as well. Is that a good target audience?
It is. It is. You probably might be delighted to know that there's a project that it's still at infants that we are doing with a colleague at London School of Economics who runs the AI project called Tsepo, where we are going to try and get journalists to write their reflections on how they are using some of these technologies in their own newsrooms, right? This is more academic, but in future we might come back here to talk about a book that is entirely written by journalists who are using some of these technologies in the newsrooms.
Wow, that's interesting. Dr. Tshuma.
Yeah, and I think I like your point, especially on government.
Oh yeah.
Because in every community, it is the government which tends to give direction, support. You see now in terms of adoption of certain technologies. So they must understand the importance of this, and they must understand that AI is here to stay. So they need to come up with measures to partner with even the corporate world to try to ensure that these technologies, they also serve mostly local communities. Now there's a drive to ensure that the community media strives. But how can community media strive when they cannot appropriate these AI tools using local languages, where they end up being forced to use foreign languages, foreign systems, knowledge systems? So the government should really play a part in advocating, in pushing for the adoption, and even at policy level and even at implementation level, and incentives. For example, I was giving an example of Strive Masiwa, and Strive Masiwa is from Zimbabwe, but you'd be shocked that maybe he has never had any engagement with Zimbabwean government. You see, on these issues, you'd be shocked that even the richest people in the world, Aliko Dangote, maybe they even have any engagement with this government. So it is those individuals which government should engage with, and then we try and promote inclusivity as far as the use of these AI tools are concerned within the African media ecosystem.
Dr. Chikumbu, I think this is certainly a big ask for African governments, considering that African political actors, they largely see people as electoral subjects, right? People who are only important when it comes to elections, which is why you find that in most countries, ethnic languages or ethnic minorities are usually relegated to the fringes. A country like Zimbabwe, it's only after 2000 where other languages, Zimbabwe is like 14, 15, now it has 14 or 15 official languages. But up until 2000, they were only recognizing two indigenous languages, which was Ndebele and Shona, right? Other languages were not even taught in primary and high school. I'm personally ethnic Shangani. I never learned Shangani in school, even though my school was 80% Shangani. But we never learned. We learned Shona, and we're studying books like Rurimi Ruamai, or my mother's language, my mother's tongue. But we never studied it, right? We never studied our mother tongue. We had to study the hegemonic tongues. So the question is, to what extent will these governments be interested, especially in playing a critical role for investing in minority languages? I think big business, big tech, will see an economic value for investing in hegemonic languages.
Yes.
That's where the government has to come and fill gap, especially for ethnic minorities. And the question is, will government play that role, considering that if you think electorally, these languages don't have huge contribution when it comes to elections, right? It's a small number. You probably contribute 5 constituents in a country that has 200 members of parliament. Only 5 will probably contribute towards these ethnic languages. So to what extent will these governments see this beyond electoral subjects to citizen, granting full citizenship rights to ethnic minorities? And I agree with Lungile that we need the government to step up and move beyond just rhetoric, and try and make sure that they fill the gaps that the big tech, which is really interested in profit, might not. I don't necessarily see big tech investing a lot of resources for languages like Doma or Wesa or Shangani. So you need the government to plug gaps and invest in those kind of spaces.
If also to add, I'm reminded of this. Maybe we're talking about tracing us, in terms of scholarship. It's similar even in terms of the adoption of these AI tools. There is a civil society organizations which tend to promote or train journalists on AI and so forth. But if you trace the money, where their money is coming from, it's coming from these big techs, where Google give them grants and so forth, and tell them more, maybe this grant is on adoption of AI, use of AI. There's no way Google will say that go and train them use of AI using local languages and so forth, because it doesn't give them any economic value. So the economics around AI itself is a big problem. It will always take us back to the founders, which are these big techs. So that's like what Trust is saying in terms of big techs are not interested in these small languages, put it in course which are not give them any economic value. Yes.
Wow. And the digital space is just going to simply be a reflection of all these inequalities, of all these the digital space. Sometimes it's of a particular age. Sometimes you don't get to see a representation of all the age groups of a particular community. And a lot has to be done. I'll tell you one of the things I saw. The knowledge industry or the academia is also one underrepresented industry, especially on the digital space. What most people consume on the digital space is sports, music, and several other stuff. Even news media, big media houses, they don't get to cover academic news or latest publications. We don't get that a lot. This is why we are doing this work, and this is why we are happy to have you to talk about your latest books. Gentlemen, thank you so much for agreeing to do this.
It's surely an honor on our part, having followed your work and admired it from a distance.
Yes, it is indeed a pleasure. It's always interesting as well to simplify this big concept, if I can put it that way, to have it more like a conversation.
Yes.
So I have interest in visuals. So we always argue that people learn faster through visuals than reading, because we learn to read, but we don't learn to see. You see, so it's quite interesting to see in terms of
we just start by seeing.
Yes, exactly.
So we have a very clear like visual understanding of how we saw it.
Yes.
Wow, that's very interesting. Yeah, I'm very grateful. I appreciate you for making the time. There's no one is going to be left behind this time, especially with this internet, the digital revolution. We're getting all the stuff to you. We're getting it to the audience. So I greatly appreciate you for making the time. One thing I saw that we do, we market books, but sometimes we never get to market the people that write the books. So I think it is important for me to mention that Dr. Trust Matsilele joins me from the United Kingdom, and Dr. Lungile Tshuma is joining me from Portugal. I'm going to paste the links of their academic profiles so that if you want to have a look at some of their works, if you want to contact them for anything, for any engagement, you can get to have access to their works. Thank you so much for making the time, gentlemen. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Nice one.